Okay, families, now I'm going to show you the September work packet. So same thing, it is a calendar. This one's orange. This packet's a lot thicker because it's a lot more time, so it's 4 whole weeks of work. So for the first day, Tuesday the 1st, again, we just listed each task they have to do that day, and the pages themselves also have the date written on them, just so it's pretty clear. So we'll start, for the first 2 weeks, we're going to be learning about colors. And then we're going to be doing this similar journal page that we did in August. And then we're going to be finishing up the letters in the alphabet, so learning their letter names. So I'll show you the September journal. The September journal is a little bit more difficult. But again, we're really just exposing them to these skills, and it's just introduction and just practice. So for the journal pages, you can see the date at the top, September 1st. So now the sentences are more detailed, so they're going to pick a word to fill in the blank. So a blank would make a good school pet because, and then they're going to finish that thought. So there's some words they can choose from the bottom. So maybe they want to say a guinea pig would be a good class pet. So they're going to pick the word, they're going to try their best to copy it up here in the blank. They're going to trace the letters in the sentence, and then they're going to finish the thought. So help them brainstorm, okay, why do you think a guinea pig would be a good pet? Maybe they want to say because it's cute. Now, we obviously do not expect them to be able to write "it is cute" all by themselves. So this is really just exposure. So they're just going to practice. What would be really great is if you help them listen to the words they want to write and then try and hear the beginning sound. So if they wanted to write because it is cute, you can have them listen, okay, it. What sounds do you hear at the beginning of it? It. So maybe they can hear, I think I hear it. If they can't right away, just try and help them with that. And then they can write one letter. So just writing one letter for the beginning sound for each word is great at this point in kindergarten. So because it is cute, so cute. Oh, that could be a C or a K, so they could write C for cute. And when they're done writing the sentence, they're going to draw a picture to match. And again, just remembering this is really the most important part of these pages is that they're practicing the tracing and holding a pencil. We're not expecting them to be able to write words independently, or even, they may not even be able to hear the beginning sounds yet. Those are all things that we're going to be practicing all year long. So really just focusing on holding a pencil the kindergarten way, starting their letters from the top and going down, and trying their best to trace on top of the lines. So these are the journal pages, the September journal. We'll go back to our calendar page. So the next part for the first week are the letters. It's the same as August. So it starts, here's the S&T page for September 1. You can see the date at the top. And this packet, I think it starts with Q, and I think that's from the week, the last day of August, which is actually the Monday of this week. But you'll see the date at the top too, so hopefully it's not confusing. So that's going to be for the first week, and then it says 3 color red. So the color packets look like this. For each color, we're focused on learning how to spell the word and then thinking of real things that are that color. So for each color page, we're going to practice reading the sentences. I see the red barn. I see the red crab. And we're going to be using our fingers to track the words and practice that. We're going to practice how to spell the word R-E-D, R-E-D, red. And we're going to be doing this together in our Zoom learning too. I'm going to be teaching them, and we're going to be singing songs and learning it that way. But this is just kind of extra practice. So for each color page, they're going to color in the letters of red with the red crayon. And then they're going to color in the pictures red and just practice reading it a couple times. So for each color, there's a page so you can see what color you're doing on each day. So the next day, you'll do orange, yellow, green. The colors last for 2 weeks. When we get to the next week of September, it's a short week because of Labor Day, you'll see first job is journal again. It's going to be journal all month long. And then for number 2, it says A, B sounds. So now that we've covered the whole alphabet, learning the letter names, now we're going to focus on learning their sounds. So the alphabet, the letter packets for September look like this. So for each letter, there's a page that has a picture clue, so apple for A. And what I want them to do is while they're tracing the letter, I want them to say A says ah, A says ah, A says ah. So now they're associating the letter with the sound. So for each letter, they're going to trace, they're going to practice the sound, and then on the back, they're going to practice writing a word. So you can have them, help them read them. Say apple. What sound do you hear at the beginning of apple? Ah. A says ah. And for the vowels, it even does short and long. So we'll talk about how the vowels say two sounds, long and short. So some A's say A. So acorn starts with a long A. A. This is a little bit more advanced skill. So we're going to be really focused on this, especially at the end of kindergarten. So this is really just kind of expose them to it. But really focusing on that they know that A, the short sound is ah. And then at the bottom, there's a couple blank lines. You can just have them think of another word they know that starts with A. You can help them with this. What's another word that you hear at the beginning? If their name starts with A, even better. You can have them, you can just maybe write it yourself, and then they can trace the word on the bottom. So that's going to be our sound pages. So that's for the second week of September, journal, sound pages, and then the colors. When we get to the third week of September, our math job becomes a shape. We're going to be learning about more difficult shapes. So the shape book looks like this. So on each page, the date is written so you can see which shape corresponds to which day. This is for September 14th. They're going to do hearts. So they're going to trace the heart, draw the heart on their own, color the word, and then draw an object using that shape. So this is for our shape week. So that's the third week of September. So again, it's the same thing, journal page, 2 sounds, and then shape. When we get to the fourth week, they're going to start doing a number trace. Now this number trace is something we're going to be doing all year long. They are going to be doing this every Monday and practicing because it's so important in kindergarten. So it looks like this. They're going to be tracing their numbers from 1 to 20 and then writing their numbers from 1 to 20. This is going to be tricky the first few times. You're probably going to have to help them a little bit. We're going to be doing it together on Zoom in class as well. And what's important is that when they're doing this, they're not just tracing. I want them to be counting as they trace. So when they're doing this, they would do 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are getting that practice counting. We call it rote counting, which means they're not counting out objects. They're not counting out actual things. It just means they're just counting from their brain. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In kindergarten, they need to be able to count to 100 rote counting by themselves. So that's why it's really important we start practicing this skill from the very beginning of kindergarten. So this is their number trace page, and on the back, they're also going to practice tracing all their letters. And again, this is just really important that we're practicing the tracing and the holding their pencil and practicing the skill of just writing on paper. It's one of the most important foundational skills that we do in kindergarten, so it's really important they get a lot of practice doing it. So that's the most important thing, is that they're just getting practice with the tracing. And just keep reminding them it's going to get easier. It might be really hard at first to write for this long, and you might need to take lots of breaks, but the next time you do it, you probably won't need to take as many breaks. It'll be a little bit easier. So just keep reminding them of that and keep encouraging them. So that is our September packet. So again, just remember each day it tells you which pages in the packets they're doing, and then on the packets themselves are the dates as well. So that reminds you, and that's just to make it even more clear. So we're doing journal every day. The beginning, we're finishing at the letter names, and then we're going to letter sounds. Each day they're going to do 2 letter sounds pages, and then we're doing colors, then shapes, and then the number trace page. Okay, so I know this was a lot of information. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to watch it again, as many times as you need to. And also feel free, if you have any questions that aren't answered or you're just still unclear about something, please don't hesitate to reach out to me on Dojo or email me with any questions that you have. All right, thank you.